What is up, everyone? Welcome to this new video. Today we're going to be talking about what's the difference between a residential assisted living facility that charges $4,000 a month versus one that charges $8,000 a month. I'm going to give you guys some of my insight of what I feel like makes a difference of how you could be that facility charging upwards of $8,000 a month. First off, just some ground homework. Just want to say thank you for everybody that's a returning viewer, and definitely welcome all you who are new to this channel, who are new to following me. A lot of you guys might be coming from my TikTok, but I appreciate everybody. If you like this video, definitely subscribe. Trying to build up this YouTube and hoping to give you guys some more long form content. If you guys do want to connect, I have some options below my bio to my Stand store. I do one-on-one coaching calls. I got a free ebook, and I also do one-on-one coaching program where I help you go from the beginning to the end of opening your first assisted living facility. Without wasting time, let's jump into this video. The number one thing that's gonna allow you to charge a high rate is your location. Location is everything. You cannot be in an area where everybody's charging $4,000 to $5,000 and somehow you're gonna be charging $8,000 to $10,000. It's just not possible. There always is a cap. It doesn't mean that if you're in an area where somebody is charging $4,000, you can't be charging $5,000, $6,000, maybe $6,500. You can always be the higher cost facility because you got a better care home, but you cannot shoot for the moon. So your location is going to be your biggest determining factor. Just to give you guys some examples, I have a care home in Sunnyvale, California, where I charge an average rate of $9,000 a month. I have a care home in Brentwood, California, where I charge an average rate of $8,000 a month. Right next to Brentwood, one of my students has a care home in Antioch. It is literally about 10 minutes away from Brentwood. Their average rate is about $6,000 a month. And then, a little bit out in the Central Valley, we have cities like Manteca, where I have students, and they're charging around $4,500 a month. So just in this 1 hour kind of radius from my Sunnyvale care home, the rates change so much. So that's why location is going to be one of your biggest aspects of what you can be charging for your rate. It really breaks down to two things, right? The location, the city you're located in, and how much of an aging population is there in that city? How much demand is there for senior housing? A good example is my care home in Sunnyvale, right? Very expensive area. That house is $2.5 million. I do lease that one because it's so expensive to afford a home here, and even if I bought it, the mortgage would be so expensive it didn't make sense financially. We actually have better cash flow by leasing. In Brentwood, I did purchase my home. I paid about $990, but I got a huge home. We made it into 6 bedroom. It's 3,100 square feet, and I charge $8,000 a month. So even looking at that, so much cheaper, about $1 million, $1.5 million less than Brentwood, but I still get a high rate, and that's because there's a high aging population there. There's about 6 senior communities in that city, so there's a high senior demand. So it doesn't always mean that you have to be in the most expensive area, but typically rates do translate. When we look at cities like Antioch, an average house costs about $700,000, where Brentwood, 10 minutes away, we bought $1 million home. Brentwood, I would say the houses do average around $850, but we bought one of the nicer ones in the area, bigger size, just so we have a bigger appeal. And I can say though, because of the rates, you kind of see the correlation. Cheaper area, cheaper rates, more expensive area, more expensive rates. You go out to Manteca, which we gave an example earlier, and the houses cost even less. So a big translation is based on how expensive is it to live in that area. And then the second part is the senior population. Is there a high demand for assisted living facilities, and are people willing to pay those higher amounts? Beyond the city, we go into neighborhoods, and neighborhoods are equally as important. The reason neighborhoods are important, most of your residents come from this 5 to 10 mile radius of where your home's located. So if I'm located in a certain area in Sunnyvale, I'm not going to get a resident who lives 15 to 20 miles away, or they lived 15 to 20 miles away, or maybe they have family 15, 20 miles away. They're gonna find a care home closer to them. People don't like going outside of that neighborhood that they're used to. So beyond your city, you gotta find a neighborhood that has a good aging senior population. The biggest way that I like to kind of do a cheat code is if there's other big box facilities. Big box facilities are those 100, 200, 500 bed facilities. They do so much market research to see where there's demand. So if you're opening a care home in a neighborhood that has a big box facility, there's probably a high senior demand, and you're gonna fetch higher rates, and you're gonna have an easier time filling your beds. All right, so location, I would say, is hands down the most important thing. And then the second part is the appearance, the first impression, how your house looks. There's a high demand in this industry, right? There's a lot of people looking for beds. There's not enough beds actually for the aging population. So we're in a high demand industry, but that doesn't mean people are just gonna come and want to live in your home and you're going to fill all your beds. You still have to do a lot of the legwork. People are going to shop around. It's a big decision. It's an expensive decision. So they're going to be looking at other care homes. So you want to make sure you have a good looking home. I would say the best thing you can tell yourself is you want it to feel and look like an Airbnb. You want families to walk in and have a wow impression when they walk in. And look, a lot of care homes are not doing this. So if you do this, you're going to stand out. You're going to be able to charge a higher rate. And families, are going to go shop at other care homes, but they're going to always say, hey, that care home I went to that was Rumman's, it just looks so much better, so much cleaner, it smells good. I can't, justify putting my mom in the care home that's $1,000 cheaper down the street just because you have a better appeal. So getting a home that is well laid out, more private rooms is going to be important. Everybody wants private over shared. And then the second most important thing is having good area space in the living room to do activities, to spend time with the residents, having an appeal of a good backyard, good community, walkable neighborhood. Those stuff make a big difference. So your second biggest thing is the appeal of your home. After location, after the look and feel of your facility, the next big thing is you determine the rate. Families are committing to yourself. They're going to come to your home. They're going to look at the care staff, and then they're going to really look at you. How do you do your tour? What kind of experience do you give them? Do they trust you? At the end of the day, I'm always the line of communication for my families. Caregivers are the heart of the business. They're the ones that take care of the residents, but we're the ones that are accountable for the loved ones, for families, for the loved one that they're putting in your home, and just to make sure that the day-to-day operations are running really well. So you really need to brush up on the impression you give when someone comes to your home, educating them on why your home is the right one, the things that you guys commit to, the activities you do, the cleanliness you focus on, the care you provide. That's going to be one of the biggest factors. So just make sure that you know kind of what you're getting yourself into. You have this passion to care for others that you can illustrate to these families when they come to your home. That's the difference between them going to a $5,000 care home and picking a $7,000 care home, is really, does this person make them feel comfortable? We touched on it a little bit on this last part, but another big thing is the care you provide and the activities that you provide within the home. The care comes from your caregivers. You want to make sure you have strong staff that can really illustrate that they can care for residents, that you do the part of training them for your facility, but you can't train their commitment, their willingness to go the extra mile, their willingness to not cut corners. That is something that comes from their experience and their personality. You definitely establish the rules and you train them on the way that you want to care for your residents, but you really need to make sure you're picking the right staff. And you're not going to know it all. They're going to have a great interview, they're going to have a good reference, but once they come into your home, you have to really make sure you weed out somebody. If they're not good, you have to let them go. This is so crucial for your home's operation. Your caregivers are hands down the heart of the business, the ones that are caring for the residents on the day-to-day. So you need good care staff, and then you need to motivate activities. Activities are important. A lot of care homes miss on that. And the best example for this is a one-star hotel. One-star hotel provides you a bed. A five-star hotel provides you so many amenities and activities. If you've ever gone to a five-star resort, there's so many activities and things to do, and that's the experience you want to give. If you want to charge five-star pricing, you need to give a five-star experience, which really comes from the activities and the care you provide. Some of the activities we do is chair yoga, karaoke. We play a bunch of board games, Mancala, Scrabble, bingo. We go out for walks. And I know those sound like something everybody should be doing, but a lot of care homes don't do that. You need to put the effort and motivate your caregivers to do continuous activities. Beyond your location, your care staff, your activities, the appeal of your facility, the biggest thing is going to be maintaining a strong reputation and building good relationships. A lot of my residents come from placement agents, but these are placement agents that have learned to like and trust me. And placement agents know what kind of residents I'm looking for. So I'm not getting placement agents telling me, hey, I have a $4,000 to $5,000 resident in my home where I'm charging $8,000 to $9,000. So they do a lot of the legwork and weave us out. So building strong relationships with the right people make a big difference. That could be your placement agent. That could be discharge planners from big box facilities. A lot of my residents come from big facilities. And, just to give a straight example is I have a resident at my Brentwood care home who pays $8,000 a month. And she's coming from a big facility where she was paying $10,000 a month. She had a fall at that facility and they didn't feel comfortable enough to care for her on a regular basis. So they recommend her to go to a smaller environment. And because we had that relationship with the big box facility, they ended up touring our home, loved everything about it, loved the smaller environment. And then also when it came to rates, us charging $8,000, we were a home run for them. Everything they wanted and $2,000 less a month. So just being able to have those relationships with placement agents and discharge planners who are coming from communities where those possible residents have that higher income, it's going to make a big difference in you being able to get those big rates. I think overall, those are going to be the biggest things that determine, the rates you could charge. The best example, like I mentioned earlier, is being that 5-star resort hotel. If you're a 5-star, you get to charge 5-star prices. I appreciate everybody, staying around for this video. If you have any questions, comments, leave them below. I'll try to get back to you. If you do want to connect, I got a link in my bio to my Stan store. We can hop on a coaching call, check out my free ebook. If you're ready to take the next step, I definitely would love to be, your coach, your mentor. I have a coaching program where I go from beginning to end and I assist you along the way. We do all the licensing, policies, procedures, finding a property, getting residents, getting caregivers. Every piece of the puzzle, I'm there. I'm a call away. I work with you one-on-one. So, if you have some interest, would love to connect. Otherwise, I'll catch you on the next one.